Why, hello there, folks. Welcome to another round of Modern by Alternate Universes. This is Dylan from the aforementioned Alternate Universe. And on the left, we have Brady Hayes playing Sultai Death Shadow. And on the right, you have George Effortless playing Blue-White Thopter-Blade, or Urza-Blade, or Urza-Thopter, however you want to call the deck. Or, as Brady called it, Hammer with Urza, and there's no hammer cards in there. That's just an ingenious Smith looking at the top four cards and grabbing an artifact and adding it to George's hand. Now, if you don't know what Ingenious Smith does besides that, once per turn, if an artifact enters your battlefield, you can put a +1/+1 counter on it. Notably, it is not during your turn only, which is cool. It is not multiple times a turn. It is not a cast trigger. So if you put the artifact lands into play, the Smith gets bigger, and that's pretty cool.
You're about to see some
It's a 1/1, very quickly becomes a 2/2.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty sweet card. Hammer did, in fact, play it for a little while. I think they cut it from their most recent iterations.
So the legend is true.
But I don't know. I have a tendency to play against Hammer every time I play Modern. It's kind of scary at this point. But I never remember if Ingenious Smith has played. I played a 1K on Saturday, so 5 days ago, and I cannot remember if they played Ingenious Smith against me or not. And I played against Hammer. Brady, end step fetching here, getting a tapped Watery Grave, and then... Or is that an Overgrown Tomb? I can't tell. And then now, fetching and shocking and playing a Tarmogoyf. Look at that fancy promo Tarmogoyf. It's an 0-1.
And then you can cut.
They gave away the rare ones.
Or 1-2. There's a land in the graveyard.
And then meanwhile, I'll pass.
So you got a 1-2, right?
1-2 right now. He's a big man.
I'm going to play a Razor-type Bridge.
You got it.
Which will trigger my Smith.
Yep.
Razor-type Bridge coming in for George.
Okay,
Going to trigger, get a +1/+1 counter.
I'll declare block.
Going to attack here for 2. Harley gonna block. Brady gonna block with the Tarmogoyf and cycle a Street Wraith,
Yep. And I'll
which
draw
will draw up a card, lose him 2 life, but notably it will put another card type into the graveyard, making that Tarmogoyf a 2/3, which will trade with the Ingenious Smith. George goes Springleaf Drum into Shadow Spear. Tarmogoyf doing cool things in 2023, unheard of things.
Weird. We'll cycle another Street Wraith.
Street Wraith getting cycled again. Imagine that Goyf is going to attack in for 2. In fact, does. George going to 18.
Pass the turn.
Sultai Shadow, pretty cool deck. Not my favorite flavor of Shadow. I am a big fan. Ooh, I'm going to fetch. And probably shock. It is Shadow after all.
I'll go down to 9.
Sultai, not my favorite flavor of Death Shadow. It is pretty cool. My favorite go-to is Grixis Death Shadow. But I also just like playing Is It, and then playing some good black cards as well. One of those good black cards being Orcish Bowmasters.
Stubborn Denial.
Shock's a Watery Grave in. Stubborn Denial.
Instant artifact, so 4.
Second main phase, Seachrome Coast, your turn.
Gwyff getting bigger.
That's a tap. On your second main,
Go
we'll cycle
to,
Dress
in the second main of George's turn, cycle, or flash and address down, draw a card. It'll die. Gwyff will get 1 bigger.
And I'll draw for turn.
Draw.
Play a Verdant.
Play Verdant as land for turn. That Gwyff is
Thanks,
untapped.
Dylan.
It will probably be tapping in just a second.
Tarmogoyf number 2.
Play the second one. I'll swing at you for 5.
Cracks in for 5. George goes to 13.
Pass the turn. This is 2008.
Urza. Lord High Artificer coming out here.
You got it.
Does resolve. Makes a token. The token is currently a 4? A 3-3? 3-3. No, yeah, 4-4. Okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's a 4-4. Urza, a 1-4 with a dream. I imagine Brady has some form of interaction here. You could also just shove damage at George, right?
Pass.
We'll fetch.
Alright, tapped Hollowed Fountain.
Take a forest.
We're going to
We'll
fetch
abrupt decay Urza.
a basic forest. Abrupt Decay. The Urza, if I remember correctly. I think I do.
Cut.
Yeah. It was an Abrupt Decay.
Up.
We're going to untap here. Do we have a way to kill the thing?
We'll push.
Alright, we'll push it.
We'll
Traverse the Ulvenwald. Definitively delirious.
Death Shadow. We'll play the
We'll
shadow.
cast the Death Shadow.
Swing at you for.
Traverse, we'll go to the yard. I do think that puts him to 6 types in the yard.
And
So I think
Shadow's
he
a
should be
5/5.
coming in
Go
for
it.
12 total damage. I think we've missed 2 points of damage here. But George is going to scoop it up anyways. That'll be game 1 going to Brady. We're going to jump in like, I don't know, 5 seconds to game 2. I forgot to cut this. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good, I think. I don't know. So like, you know. Anyways, game 2.
Soul God Lantern?
Plains, Soul Guide Lantern.
No. Raw. I sided the Tarmogoyf's out.
Thinking on what land to play. Alright, Verdant Catacombs. Going.
Look at myself.
Will bobble himself. I do appreciate that Brady just like actually taps the bobble to do the bobble effect. It's kind of wholesome, not gonna lie to you. What is in this deck box?
It's on a deck box sitting on like. It's like table next to me. Oh, One Piece deck. But I don't have it yet.
We'll fetch. 17.
5
We'll
minutes.
take a
Cool.
watery grave.
Sweet watery grave.
I like this art so much. I don't have overgrown tombs. I know. My overgrown tombs are just not shiny.
I mean, that one's not even a galaxy foil, so.
That's very true. That's very true.
Scrub.
Scrub is right.
I say as a non-dual player.
Full cycle
Alright,
street race.
cycling a street race.
On one,
Plays an E on 1. Says go.
and I'll draw bobble, sorry.
Draws from the bobble.
Yep.
Ingenious Smith, top 4. It's an Esper Sentinel. What's cool with Ingenious Smith is it can get you the tap lands. So it can buy you future land drops. Now they come in tapped, but at least you get the trigger out of the Smith, which is cool.
What thoughtsies? Oh dear God. Oh dear God. Huh. Well, you're not at 4 mana yet.
True story.
We'll take the Esper Sentinel.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Draw for turn.
Dr. Foundry.
Oh, that's pain.
Trigger.
Thopter Foundry here will trigger. Attack for 2.
11.
Pretty goes to 11.
Pass to you.
Non-token artifact, put a 1/1. Okay, non-token artifact. I should have said 2.
You should have said 2,
Yeah, I should have said 2.
but then I would have played a 1-drop.
Misplay. Nine gets swung at again. Go down even more. 9.
All right. Shocking in a breeding pool. Going to 9.
We'll go to end step.
Says go.
We'll dress down on
In the
step.
end step.
Sure.
We will flash in a dress down. Does not pay the... Oh, there's no Esper Sentinel on the board. Why did I think there was an Esper Sentinel? I was just like, does not pay the 1.
I'll sacrifice this.
Yep.
All right. George going to crack the Lantern to draw a card here.
Uh-oh.
Seachrome Coast is land for turn. Attack for 2.
Yeah. 7.
Pass to you.
Thank you.
Died in my end step.
Dress down is in the yard.
Death Shadow?
You got it.
Death Shadow coming out. Will be a 6/6.
Pass over to you.
Portable hold.
Portable hole here.
In the shadow.
Does it resolve?
Yes, it does.
Trigger.
Shadow.
Shadow.
You got it.
Takes the shadow away.
Yep.
Smith.
2.
Go to combat.
Yep.
Attack you for 3.
4.
Pass to you.
Attacks in for 3. I was like, Brady's in an interesting spot where he could sack the EE to pop the portable hole, but George can, in response, activate the Foundry to sack the hole, and then the shadow gets blown up by the EE.
Trying to think.
I believe we are going to see this game go to George.
That'd be so funny.
I do have a Jeskai Triad.
I know. I know you do.
Wait, did I pack lightning bolts in my deck?
That'd be so sick. Just get blasted by a lightning bolt. We'll take a swamp.
You got it. Sweet Swamp 2.
Thank you.
Seb McKinnon tells a story.
Such a good art.
I was not mad to get the sketch version as my extra card. Damnation.
Force of Vigor.
Wow.
Here.
I'm going to cast a Force of Vigor.
Sacrifice the portable hole.
Yes.
Going to
Gain a life. make
activate
a
Foundry.
Yep.
We'll sack Megathopter. Gain 1 life.
Ingenious Smith.
Trigger.
Sacrifice the Thopter
Sack
Foundry.
Megathopter. Gain 1 life.
Gain another life. Make another Thopter. Go up to 22. Force of Vigor resolves.
With a bobble. Look at myself.
We'll cast and crack a bubble. Bubble's in the yard.
Thank you. Go for it.
Trigger.
Yeah.
Alright, passes a turn. Draws during upkeep.
I'm so dead.
Urza.
Yep.
Format it. Play Urza.
Combat.
Make a Thopter. Not a Thopter. A construct. Attack for 2 with the Thopters. Pretty goes to 1.
I draw a lightning
Rogren
bolt.
Triumph
I
tap
get a candy
pass.
bar. Your turn.
But he has a 12/12 Death Shadow. And we'll jokingly cycle Street Wraith to kill himself, though I don't think you actually can. I think you have to be able to pay 2 life.
Yeah, no. I should have engineered explosives, but it was like gross.
I was really hoping you would engineer explosive.
We're playing Magic now. Look at myself. We'll keep. Cycle Street Wraith.
All right, game 3. Brady on the play. Going Bauble, Street Wraith, fetch. 15. Maybe down to 13. Maybe he's got a Thoughtseize. Maybe we start game 3 with 13 life.
Actually, no, I don't. I'm like Titan. I don't like people going.
No, Lurs was lit. It was so fun.
Yeah, instead of a function by dress down. No, I can't. Alright, I was joking.
That is the most raw keep I've ever seen in my entire life.
I'm not going to mulligan against the Thoughtseize deck. I'm just not going to do it.
Nah.
And this hand doesn't have 3/4 drops like my last hand.
Can play half of this hand.
I can.
Oh my god, there's like 5 wrong decisions.
That.
Alright, so I guess this is not the one you're going to pick.
Gross.
All right, hey, that's Thoughtseize we talked about. 2 Esper Sentinels, 2 Stoneforge Mystics, and a Teferi Time Raveler.
Yeah.
And a Pithing Needle.
Oh my god. We'll hit a,
I guess the Needle's naming EE in this matchup.
And I have Delirium. I'll pass.
Yeah, he's an Esper Sentinel for George. I missed what he took. I think he took a Stoneforge Mystic, and I feel like I would take
We're going down to 10.
the one of the Esper Sentinels.
Ouch.
Because George is going to play one on his turn, right? And then if you have a removal spell, you just kill the other one and hopefully cut him off at his legs where he can't get any type of engine going.
Where's the extra what?
Stoneforge needs to... George needs to find a land to cast Stoneforge Mystic.
Yeah, I know the worst.
And then Stoneforge needs to live for a turn to put into play whatever George gets. So, I don't know. I think I'm tagging one of the Sentinels. Because 2 Sentinels is a lot harder to deal with than one of them is.
9.
Portal Hole eats the Goyf. I'm going to attack in for 1.
Pass to you.
Death Shadow coming out here. Is a 4/4. Yep, is getting bigger.
6.
Is currently a 7/7. Brady playing fast and loose with his health. There's a Vampire Hexmage. I keep forgetting that the reason they're Sultai is they play Invasion of Ikoria. Because I saw him cast that Hexmage on Monday and I went, the fuck is this card this deck for? And then I just saw it again, like right now, and thought the same thing. And then, yeah, remember there's battles in the deck.
Hiya.
Right, Shadow attacking in for 7. Brady
dress down.
flashing in a dress down.
We'll play dress down. Pay 1.
Draw card.
Yeah.
Go to 7.
Yep. Land for turn.
George will get the draw card off of this.
Go for it.
Does take 13 points of damage. Dress down dies. We're trying to tap land. God, imagine if you were Grixis and you played Fury. Though I actually don't think Grixis plays Fury. You just play more interaction.
Swing.
Jams in for 7. Esper Sentinel valiantly going to jump in front of that Death Shadow.
Go for it.
I feel like I'd be presenting attacks with the Hexmage as well.
In response, dress down.
Dress down. George gets a draw card.
Your turn.
Does not get the draw card. But he has mana open.
Draw for turn.
George just has blockers. Because the likelihood that why are we playing E here? That doesn't make sense.
I didn't think this through actually.
Yeah, I think I'm jamming the Hex Mage. I think the likelihood that George is blocking the Hex Mage with the Esper Sentinel is pretty low at this point in the game.
Up everything.
And it's just an extra 2 points of damage that I think could have gotten twice. I don't know how many turns it's been since the card was cast. Is it a 2-2? A 2-1? Yeah, it's a 2-1. That's what I thought it was.
I can't take
And
that
it's got
back,
first break.
can I?
No, wait, why are we not attacking with this? It is like
I didn't
objectively
defer
wrong to
both,
not
right?
attack with Hex Mage. Maybe text Brady. There's a chance that Brady's just watching the video and will text me after this.
Pay the 1. Hiya.
So how big is
Brady
the shadow?
coming in for 7 here.
So he's my life total.
He is your life total, yes.
Like this turn, I understand not attacking with the Hex Mage. You want to block with it potentially?
Alright, I'll block.
You got
Assuming George has something good to put in off the Stoneforge Mystic.
it. Go for it.
Which even then, whatever matters.
Yep.
There's an Urza Saga's land for turn.
It's
I feel like the removal in the Sultai list is so much weaker.
Force of Vigor.
Thank you. Force of Vigor. Target Pithing Needle and Portable Hull.
metallic rebuke.
To Metallic Rebuke it.
Yeah, I can't spend that. That's cool. Swing for 7.
Attacks in for 7.
I'll block.
You got it.
We'll declare blocks.
I'll put in a metal cyst.
We'll put in a Nettle Cyst.
There's a 5-power creature.
Yep.
The Nettle Cyst is quite large.
Go for it.
2, 3, 4, 5. Yep.
I'll go to 6.
Yep.
You're
We'll
empty-handed.
fetch going to 6.
No hand.
I'll get a island C2 kill you. I'll play a talisman.
Talisman.
Play a
To fairy. Bounce the Hex Mage.
Attack you to death.
Attack for lethal. That will be game 3 going to George, folks, on Blue White Urza-Blade. Over Brady Hayes on Sultai Shadow. Thank you for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Something in my house just made a noise. Oh boy.